This is a neighborhood in Beaverton, Oregon. But let's not call it a typical neighborhood because it's not. A black family lives here. They live down there in that house with a moving van out front. That's right, they're moving. They claim they've been terrorized and harassed by their white neighbors.
Cleo, scene one, take one.
Do you think that black people are safe in this country?
Dang. You ask me a question like that, that's very difficult. When these people were dispersed all around the planet, what was the purpose? Was the purpose to make fun of them? Was the purpose to kill them? Was the purpose to belittle them and make them feel less than? That wasn't the purpose. The purpose was exploitation. We were never to participate within this economy. We were an instrument and a tool for this economy.
So the Scotts are moving. The neighbors I talked to didn't seem particularly glad or sad about their leaving. One white neighbor did comment, "It's too bad, but there probably won't be any more trouble now."
What happened in Jackson, Mississippi is indicative of the fact that unless we organize ourselves and prepare ourselves to defend our communities against any forms of repression, the same thing will happen here in Albina this summer. We say all power to the people. Well, the people have the power.
My areas of study are, well, urban poverty, racial economic inequality. So that's residential segregation, the concentration of poverty. The city of Portland used to be only on the west side of the river. Albina, which is on the east side of the Willamette River, was a railroad town. Portland has a very small black community, and they maintained an idea with black people in a neighborhood, property values decline. It was in 1919 that the Portland Realty Board declared that it was unethical to sell homes to blacks or Chinese. So that's why they segregate people, keep us out of white neighborhoods so that we don't bring their property values down, we don't mingle with their children, okay, that we don't have integration. Around 1945, they designated between the Oregon Street, which was the Steel Bridge, and the Broadway Bridge as the area where the black population would live. And that was about 60% of the black population was concentrated there.
We have the criminal telling the victim, it's okay. It's okay if I hit you on your head. It's okay if I shoot you in the back of your head. It's the criminal telling the victim this. And we as a community, if we're ever gonna take a stand, the time now is to take a stand and to stop being victims and to stop reacting and start acting and speak up with the voice and the power that we have now before we won't even have that.
How did you become involved with the Black Panthers?
I became involved with the party in the 1968, 69 in the summertime. We were revolutionary socialists. We started that because of the police brutality. If blacks do anything wrong, jail or prison you go. We were all from the community, and it was already in the heart. That's how the party won the hearts and minds of the community. This was the area where the city had completely written off this area. This is where we decided, to come down and start doing community work. The Portland chapter was the only chapter that had a dental clinic. After we started the health clinic, which was right here, a lot of dentists came forward and said, we want to help out the community too. That was started in 1970. The clinic was called the Malcolm X People's Dental Clinic.
Put black people in a particular area, and then you withdraw all services. That area gets written off as not worthy of any expenditures because we're not deemed citizens We don't get the same investments for the cities in libraries, schools, police, fire, public safety, whatever. So that's disinvestment. But the flip side of disinvestment, though, is what? It's exploitation. It's not just that we don't invest, it's that we extract the wealth from that area.
My grandparents, they came to Portland and purchased a property. That particular property on Sacramento Street, it had 2 structures on it. A 7-unit apartment building in the front and a 2-roomed serving quarters behind it. And the city had slated that for demolition. At the city council hearing, my grandmother said that, this property is no good to me if you destroy the structures. So we ended up keeping the structure in the back, and we were forced to demolish the 7-unit apartment building.
So they never intended for us to get Albina together, and the city had completely written off that area down in there, completely written it off. And the minute the Black Panther Party moved down in there with this and just the survival program, they took an interest in it. The party spread it to 28 chapters, and it was required for each chapter to have a breakfast program. Breakfast is going to be served at the church up here, every morning. The first morning, I think the first week, we were serving over 125 kids a week. Nationwide, we fed over 30,000 kids.
The Black Panthers are recruiting criminals and hoodlums and encouraging them to engage in a broad range of terrorist activities. They are the greatest threat to the internal security of this country. We want to make it clear to Black youth that if they want to be revolutionaries, they will be dead revolutionaries.
That was a big deal, declared the Black Panther Party the biggest threat to the internal security of the United States. And they raided us in Portland here, they raided us in LA the same week, Oakland, Chicago. The raids were happening all over the country. Well, anyway, the rest is history with the total gentrification of the neighborhood.
How do you change institutional racism? When the racism is not even necessarily just embedded in the individuals that even work there, that they might have good intentions, but the whole rule structure is set up as unfair. We should be demanding this federal money, this reinvestment. It's not just about redistributing local police budgets, although those are huge. It's about the whole federal budget that should be redistributed. So a lot of it isn't even about us. It's about them correcting things.
Do you think that Black people are safe in this country?
I feel like it's a catch-22 type of a question. Within the United States, wherever you have Black love, you're safe. Wherever you have Black love, you're safe. So maybe we should start working on spaces of love, of Black love and joy and prosperity versus safe spaces.
Haven't met the Scots. We've tried on past occasion, but there seems to be a little desire on their part to become acquainted with the social strata here in the area.
I never want to appear prejudiced or anything else. I just honestly have not taken the time to go over and meet her. And I did not know that there has been harassment, and I feel very bad about it.
They're going to leave. Do you feel one way or another about that?
No comment.
We feel that this document, which we are presenting, represents the feeling, sentiments, analysis, and intentions of Black people in Oregon. We've attempted to show self-determination by identifying our problems without attacking superficially, by defining our interests without being dogmatically critical. Our programs are real, not visionary. Our concerns are based upon empirical data, not subjectivity. With further refinement and implementation of this agenda, we will see the constitution of justice for all Black Oregonians, as well as hope for everyone else in this state.